and welcome back to episode 8. I think I'm losing track of Coffee Chats. Today I'm here with my friend Emily, and we're going to talk about music journey and what she's going to be doing with music now, because it's sort of like another different thing you can do, like university wise. Okay, so first of all, to get to know you, what are 3 fun facts about you?
This is a weird one, because you know everything about me, really. So everything I say is gonna be really like, you know it already, and yeah. Well, might as well just say the one that I was saying to you earlier. So, I did further maths, and chemistry A levels. But yeah, I'm gonna do music at uni. So, yeah. And then when I was like 12, I learned over 100 digits of pi because I liked maths when I was 12. I literally don't know. Heather, help me.
You fell down the drain.
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah, when I was 12, we were on holiday in Albania and we were walking down this path, and there were like uncovered drains all the way along this road. It was like the side of the road because it was the only way to get back to where we were staying. And literally turned to look at a car and stepped straight into one, and I've still got scars on my knee, but I'm wearing leggings, so I'm not sure.
I wasn't even there, but I still find it really funny. And I just remember, like, my memory of this thing is we came to your house to like for dinner or something after you got back, and her whole family acted it out for my family. It was just so funny.
My dad still acts it out sometimes.
Okay, right. So what is the highlight of your week then?
I mean, I've worked 4 days this week, so if Sunday counts, and seeing you on Sunday. Otherwise, I mean, I finished working yesterday, and while I love working, it's nice to have time.
You don't drink coffee, so if you were going to go to a coffee shop, what drink would you get?
I'd get a hot chocolate. If it was Boston Tea Party, I'd get the white hot chocolate, and probably I'd get it cold because it's good cold, but like more in the summer than the winter. That
I didn't know you could get them cold.
Yeah, it became a thing, and I was like, what? I don't even. Yeah, you can get like a cold hot chocolate, but they don't call it that. But it's literally the same as the hot chocolate. It's just cold.
I need to try it. Okay.
Otherwise, I'd get a tea. Like if we're having a meal out, I always get a tea or an orange juice, but normally a tea or alcohol, but tea.
Okay, so what do you do, or like what are you going to be doing?
So I play the violin and the piano and guitar, and I sing sometimes and stuff. But I'm gonna do violin at music college. So there's like a big application process and stuff for that. That's separate. It's through UCAS, but it's not like main UCAS. So yeah.
So I've known you for literally ages, and that whole time you've been playing instruments and stuff. So what has your journey been with music so far? So like from right at the start to now?
Obviously I don't remember being under the age of 5, but we had a piano in our house and my mum played piano, so I knew what middle C was on the piano when I was 5. That's basically all I really did with the piano, but occasionally I learnt like a few like 3-note tunes or whatever. And also when we were in Australia, I don't remember this at all, which is really sad because I would love to have this memory. So there was a busker outside Sydney Opera House. I was 4 when we went to Australia, and he was playing violin, and he got me to play his violin. So I think that's why I decided to play the violin, but I don't remember it. But I remember I vaguely remember I always wanted to learn the violin. Like I started violin when I was 7, and I know I wanted to learn the violin before that, and I can't imagine like learning it. Like I can't imagine having that, like not learnt the violin and learnt like the flute or something, like you played the flute instead. Like I'm not a flautist.
No, I can't imagine you playing it.
Yeah.
And then like from then what's?
I mean, when I was younger I didn't practice that much, which is terrible. Then when I was doing my GCSEs, I started literally during exam season for GCSEs, I started practicing the violin loads more. I quit piano just before my GCSEs. Basically my teacher was like, you're not playing enough because you're so busy with your GCSEs, so just like stop, there's no point in having lessons. So I stopped playing the piano, and then I ended up doing more work on violin because of it. Then when I started in college, because I lived away from home for college for 2 years, just Monday to Friday, obviously I could schedule my routine more. So from like as soon as I started, I was like, I want to play the violin more because I've been enjoying it while I've been doing my GCSEs. So from then I started playing violin more. So like literally as soon as I moved away, I was like playing it every night, and then it just sort of became a habit. And then I was going into college because the only way I could get access to a piano was in college, and I started playing the piano in college in the morning before we started, because I was living like in like a homestay thing with someone, so I was being dropped into college at like 8:15, so I had 45 minutes before anything started, so I'd just go and play the piano for like 45 minutes in college, and then got another piano teacher during year 12 again, and yeah, so I'm still having piano lessons now.
Okay.
And then it was like end of year, I sort of, a few months into year 12, I'm like, I don't think I want to do maths, I think I want to do music. But I didn't really know how to tell my teacher, so I sort of like tried to tell him, and he's like, nah, you don't, you should do maths. And then eventually he like, it was another few months, so like, I want to do music, and he's like, okay, yeah, sure. But I didn't tell him, because like the first time I said I'm thinking I might want to do music, like I'd only just really, probably not even a few months in, it was probably like October, so I'd only been practicing for like a month, so it makes sense. He was like, now you want to do math. But yeah, after that then I went through all the application stuff and everything.
So as it's music college, it's a bit different from like the university process that I've been through. So what is the application process?
So it's still through UCAS. There's like different sections on UCAS for applications. So you have standard university, and then there's a button that says conservatoires. So basically it's on that one. The applying system I think is quite similar, but you can pick up to 6 conservatoires, and then you can also pick 5 universities if you want to, like the standard, so you can use both application types. Then I didn't apply for any unis because I decided I wanted to do music college. But yeah, so the application is quite similar. So you still have to fill out like all the details about you, like your date of birth and stuff, and you have to submit a personal statement. But the application ends on the 1st of October, which is even earlier than it is for Oxford. And then after the 1st of October, you get given audition dates, or if you're a composition student, I think they do like interviews, but it's still like the same sort of thing. So yeah, you get your audition dates. Auditions are from middle of October to December, and you go to the audition. It's for violin, it was 2 pieces, and they gave us sight reading at some of. I had sight reading at some and not others, and oral tests. And then so you get like, you have the audition, and then they interview you, so you talk about why you want to do music and all that stuff. So it's basically like an audition for a job, but just very music orientated, and obviously you play because it's music. But yeah, you still do a personal statement, and it's still is it 4,000 characters or 4,000 words? I can't remember. 4,000 characters, I think. It's still it's still the same limits on it. It's just, and to be honest, it's a similar thing. It's just you have the audition and interview bit as well.
I feel like also with the personal statement, you can write about music college, you can write more about that, whereas my mention of music would be like, I go to band and orchestra, because it wasn't related.
Yeah, so rather than, obviously you do like a tiny bit about your hobbies. At the moment, sort of music is your hobby, so instead of like, I did maths A level, so for me I think it was a bit different again, because obviously I had my A levels and then I had what I wanted to do, which were just not the same thing, so I sort of had to do a bit more about maths and stuff as well. So we had these projects that we did at my college, where we did like 2 projects in groups and then our own project as well. It was a bit like the EP2, but it wasn't that. And Yeah, so for my individual project, I did about sort of patterns between maths and music, and I made like a bit of software that randomly generates a canon, and it wasn't the best bit of software ever, but I'm not a computer person. So it worked, and it musically worked as well. Obviously, if I knew more about software, I'd develop that, but that's not what I want to do. So yeah, and then we had to do a report, a presentation, and a like A1 poster, which is still in my room. I don't know where it is right now. So there was like all of that to do. So I put a like paragraph about, so I did this that links between maths and music in my personal statement. But then hobbies wise, I basically just put in a sentence, because I've done musicals and stuff, so I just put in like a couple of sentences about I like also play the piano, and I've danced a lot, and I've done musicals. Yeah, that was basically my hobbies, rather than my hobby is music, because it sort of is, but I've done other stuff as well.
Okay, so you've already for A levels you did like science and maths and stuff, which is obviously not what you're doing now. So how has it been changing from that sort of sector to music?
Yeah, so it's been like a bit of a mixed response really, because like a lot of people are supportive, because obviously I've been doing music for a long time, and they like everyone's always known that I like to do music, but to go from being pretty certain that I was going to do maths, or at least maths and music combined at university, to going, no, I'm going to go to music college, which is in a way the less academic route, just because it's a performance-based course, whereas if you do music at university, you learn a lot more of the theory side of things. So it's not that it's not academic, it's that it's performance-based. So you still learn a lot of the other stuff, it's just you spend a lot more time performing and working quartets and things like that. Yeah, so it's a lot more performance-based. So to go from being quite academic, doing maths and things, some people do think that I'll miss that sort of stuff, but I think although I'm not learning as much theory or history of music maybe as other people who go to music college in college, I can do that on my own time and learn about the parts of the history of music that I'm actually interested in, rather than doing it just because it's a module that I have to do, and spend my course hours actually learning how to be a good musician and learning and improving my music technique, which I feel like is more important as a musician than being taught theory. I think knowing it's really important, but I think you can learn it yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so you took a gap year. You can say like your reasons for doing it if you want, but you chose to work over it. And how was that? Especially, I feel like your job with people who are older than you, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, I took a gap year. The first time I applied for conservatoire, I wasn't ready because I decided so late. I didn't have audition pieces so ready at all. So I started working on them way sooner, way closer to the application than I probably should have done or would have done if I'd known I was going to do music, obviously. I did get a waiting list offer, but my first audition was right in the middle of October, and I'd been expecting at least November, or hoping at least November. So my first couple, I just wasn't ready. So I got a waiting list offer, but that didn't ever go through. And I decided that if I didn't get in, I wanted a gap year, and I'd reapply and also apply for uni courses. But I think I've been like thinking, oh, I'd quite like a gap year since I was about 12, to be honest. I thought it'd be a good idea to work and get a job and maybe go traveling, and have a bit of money before I went to uni. But then because my course is music, I obviously can't go traveling for 3 months. It's not very like feasible. Yeah, it's not very feasible to take a violin with you backpacking, and also it's like, where would you practice? And there's like a few things, like I'd have loved to do some of the charity things that you can do abroad and things as well, but realistically, if I'm helping with a charity, when am I going to practice? So I decided to that I'd probably take a holiday at some point at the end, which obviously didn't happen because of coronavirus. But I would just work, and then I'll have have money for uni, and hopefully not have to work quite as much, so I can focus a bit more on music. Yeah, so I decided I'd basically just work all year. And originally I was going to finish in July, but then lockdown happened, so I've just done an extra month of work, which I finished today. So I've got a month to get ready for uni now. With my job, I worked in an optician's, which I've really loved doing. I feel like meeting a lot of different people is something I think it's really good for you, I guess, to get that experience of working with customers of all ages, and actually sort of getting to know them, because you're spending quite a long time with these people when you're dispensing their glasses or doing the pre-screening tests with them. So you do get to know the patients, and there's some that I pass in the street now and I'd know their name because I've spent enough time with things like that it's clicking, like, oh, that's that person there, and like this nice patient that I've dealt with. Which obviously, if I'd gone to music college, I wouldn't have had that, like this year, I wouldn't have had that sort of experience. And to be honest, I think working with a lot of different people is, I guess, quite good for your confidence and things. And it's really, I think it's good to know how to approach people of different age groups and things as well. So I think working on my gap year has been really good, especially in the job I've been doing.
I basically just added this question in, so that's why I'm not asking it in like the same way as the other ones. But what are your hopes in the future now that you're going to music college?
So I really want to develop as a performer, but I've always been really interested in composition, so I definitely want to keep that going, keep composing music, and I'm considering a master's in composition, but I wanted to do something performance based so that I've got options. I didn't want to restrict myself to composition, which is why I chose to do violin. Also, I want to keep playing the piano, keep playing the guitar and singing and things. I think having a wide range of areas in music that I enjoy and would be happy to be part of is really important, because if I'm saying I only want to do classical music and be in an orchestra, realistically that's not going to happen unless I'm the absolute best. And even if I am the absolute best, if they're not looking for me, they won't pick me. There's a lot in orchestras of they pick people of a certain age and things. So if they've got a lot of older players in the orchestra, they might pick a young inexperienced player. If they've already got quite a few less experienced players, they will pick someone who's older, who's had orchestral experiences. Says you need other things to fall back on, because it's really varying. Even if you're a really good performer, it really varies depending on how many orchestras you've been in and things like that, whether you'll be picked, but that changes at each audition as well. And obviously it's so reliant on what like other jobs, I guess, with interviews, but in a different way. It's so reliant on the other people that you're applying with, and there are a lot of people that play instruments. So I do some folk music and things as well. Having interest in that area as well means that I'm more versatile. So there's more areas I can get a job in. So to be honest, I don't know where I want to be. Obviously, I'd love to play in professional orchestras, but equally, we've got a great local orchestra. So if I ended up teaching music and playing in a really nice amateur orchestra, I'd still be happy. But I can see myself teaching violin in the future in a classroom or something. I can see myself teaching, but I don't know what else I'll be doing alongside it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Okay, so that's the thing about music that we're going to be talking about, unless there's anything that you want to add on.
I don't think so.
So this is a question I ask everybody, and I always feel really bad for asking it because I can't actually think of the answer for myself. And that is, what is the best advice you've ever been given?
So this is basically from a song. Basically just always focus on the little things and like little pockets of happiness. And if you put enough of those together, then you've got like a big bubble of happy, because life's never going to be perfect. So yeah, you've got to focus on the little things in life, which is a lyric from a song by someone called Samantha.
That is something that I don't know if I'd say it, but that's something I do a lot. Like if I'm having a bad day or something. I said this in the one I did with Maddie, because she said something about happiness, and then I said about like even if you're having a bad day, you can look outside and there might be like a rainbow or something. I don't know.
There was a rainbow on Sunday, wasn't there? And I only just saw it. And then
Yeah, there was. That's
There
cute.
was a rainbow on Sunday.
So thank you so much for joining me on here. It was really fun, and I think we should do more like of different topics because I feel like we could speak about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on, and I'll link your channel down below, so everyone go and subscribe to Emily. She does like music stuff and she's going to do uni vlogs when she goes. So yeah, thank you. Bye. Right, I'm gonna